Hello, family. Welcome back. Dr. Answer here, introducing the final episode in the Poverty Inherited Illusion or Reality series. This seventh episode will focus on how poverty is managed in one of the wealthiest and one of the most impoverished countries, plus poverty and geriatrics. A country's economic wealth can be determined by the measurement results of its gross domestic product, GDP, per capita. Measuring GDP per capita is a standard measurement utilized by countries. This process involves measuring the total economic output of a country divided by the total population of the country. It is projected that the world GDP per capita grow every year. The International Monetary Fund and World Bank annually calculate the GDP of all countries. The finding indicates a rating of the richest and underprivileged countries. GDP also reflects the well-being of the populace of the nations. Understanding GDP encompasses a wide variety of entities, such as consumption, investments, government, private and public, exports and imports, and foreign trading, just to name a few. However, one of the main takeaways from GDP is that it provides an economic snapshot of a country, which estimates an economic size and growth rate. Family, stay tuned as we explain and understand how poverty is managed in one of the wealthiest, Bermuda, and in one of the most impoverished country in the Caribbean, Haiti.
Together, there's a way to be sure. You've got to work, let's work. You've got to work for what you want. People just work, yes, work. You've got to work for what you want. It's all in your hands.
A $1 million question would be, how is poverty managed in Haiti? One way in which poverty is managed in Haiti would be through the Feed My Lamb ministry. Once known as the jewel of the Antilles, the wealthiest colony in the world, Haiti is now known as the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
Hello, dear Margie. My name is Jeff, and I'm one of the university students. Feed My Limbs and the university student take my voice to thank you for everything you give and everything you do and did for us. Thank you for the clothes, thank you for the shoes. We receive all, and I want you to know that your donation comes straight to us. Your donation pays school scholarship for a lot of us in Feed My Limbs in the community. And thank you for everything. We love you a lot. We were praying for you to make sure that God bless you and protect your whole family and your activities. We love you a lot. Bye.
Feed My Lambs ministry was formed officially in November 2009, but the ministry truly began when Philip Rieger, founder of Feed My Lamb ministry, went to Haiti in 2008. Philip's first trip to Haiti was to help with an extensive feeding program after 4 significant storms struck the island, and his heart never left. Philip wanted to provide shelter, food, and education to the children and a sense that they had a future of opportunity ahead of them. The average child in Haiti has never been to a doctor, attended school, or slept in a real bed. Philip Rieger will now give us some insight in the genesis of the Feed My Lambs ministry and its effect in Haiti.
Okay, the purpose for helping in Haiti was, as you go into Haiti, you can understand that there's a deep problems with poverty. People are hungry, starving. I saw a big difference between hungry and starving. And my ambition was that I hope for a better tomorrow. And I've been doing it for 15 years. So by year is constantly having challenges. And have we met problems? Many problems. From day one, we met problems. The way the government and the way the people, how they relate to the foreigners that are coming there. But I never looked at that. I kind of override those parts because I wasn't about to impress anyone. I was just there for service and how I can accomplish my task in Haiti, which is trying to build housing, educational, and you can see that medical was a big problem. We put a lot of emphasis in the medical field in the beginning, but then I transferred most of it over to the education because I think education is powerful. And when you think about testimonies of Haiti, when you grab a guy off the street that is doesn't know where his food's coming from, and he's cleaning the classrooms, and I saw that. So I started getting up early in the morning to clean the classrooms with him, and we became friends. And today, he's my leader in Haiti, and he handles the money. I trust him with every cent. I build trust and integrity in him. And you do have many people that was found in the street that came through our orphanage, and one of our girls is a doctor, and then we have nurses, and many of our kids today are doing a summer program at our school, and the one that's teaching English is one of our orphans from our school. He's got his degree in speaking English. Another one is teaching Spanish. Another one graduated in computer science, teaches computers. And another guy's got an accounting degree, and he's teaching math and stuff like that through the summer. And I say that, when it comes to the other countries around, when it comes to Haiti, they know that Haiti is a very, very bad way. They understand that, and their biggest question is how long I've been there. And I met with Sean Penn, and his first question to me was how long I've been there. And when I told him I've been there since 2008. So, and they want to know how, dealing with the people of Haiti, and you just got to be patient. When you go into someone's kitchen, you go in someone's country, you don't tell them what to do, you help them, and hopefully you could gain some confidence. and they could trust in you that you're out to help them, not to make money and put money in your pocket. But and why poverty? Well, you know, Haiti was a rich country, and then when it went independence, it's you know, lots of stories behind this. One point is that the Haitian people are hard workers, are God-fearing people, but you also got a bunch of Haitian people that they think they could just sit on the wall and things could be given to them. So I think that, you know, it's from the top up. I met very wealthy people in Haiti that brings in rice and beans, and they're not worried about if the bag of rice is $15 or $50. They just want their cut. They're not worried about the child that's hungry on the street. I've talked to them on the plane and in the airport, and I haven't got one response. They told me they're going to talk to me and they're going to help me and this and that, but nothing ever came out of that. But poverty, when you look around the world, if you go to India and you go to Honduras and stuff, it's a learning lesson, because I think one thing about the poverty part is that, you know, there's no reason for them to have a smile on their face. And, you know, because of the conditions they're in, many of the kids are missing meals 2 and 3 days a week. And one thing about us, we have money in our pockets, and we can't even find a smile on our face. So I think there's a lot to learn through the third world countries. Focusing on Haiti, I learned a lot, because our complaints are someone else's dreams, and I hope that this here helps a little bit. And take care. Bye.
Number 1, in my opinion, poverty is the inability to have certain necessities, such as having enough food to consume, or a place to stay, or water to drink, and many other things. Number 2, no, I don't consider myself poor. Number 3, I think there is a solution to poverty. I think the solution is to promote high employment, provide 3 healthy meals a day, and clean water for those who can't afford it, and also provide good housing and education.
Finally, we will now learn one major way in which poverty is managed in Bermuda. Poverty has no boundaries. Thus, the wealthiest countries in the world are also affected by poverty. Bermuda, one of the world's top 5 most prosperous countries, has poverty within its borders. There are numerous projects instituted and activated to address this. One such scheme will be introduced to us by Mrs. Sheila Cooper, the board chair of Habitat for Humanity of Bermuda. Welcome, Mrs. Cooper. Welcome, Mrs. Cooper.
Thank you so much.
Okay, great. So we're going to get right into the meat of the matter. What is the purpose or the mission for Habitat for Humanity of Bermuda?
Okay, well, Habitat Bermuda is actually an affiliate of the broader organization Habitat for Humanity, which is actually based in Atlanta, Georgia. And they have affiliates all through North America, Canada, and the United States, and other parts of the world. Bermuda Habitat began in the year 2000. When we recognized that there was a real problem here with the lack of affordable housing. Okay. And so our mission here in Bermuda is to increase the availability of affordable housing and to address the issues that relate to families living in derelict conditions.
Okay. So how are these projects funded?
Well, they're largely funded through the generosity of the corporate sector here in Bermuda. We have a number of international companies here that are very generous. Bermuda does not have any income tax, so those companies, rather than paying it to the government, actually pay good chunks of money to the charitable sector of which we are a part.
That sounds good. That's something to note for other countries, right?
Yes, it is.
So the project you said started from 2000. So from 2000, which is the conception, to present date, how many projects have pretty much you guys?
Well, we've completed over 200 projects here in Bermuda.
Wow.
Now, those are not new builds because it's impossible to buy the land and ultimately build something that was affordable. So what we have done is we take large derelict buildings and transform them. An example of that is a project we completed 2 years ago called the Transformational Living Center. We took a derelict rest home and turned it into housing for 10 families.
Wow. 10 families. So that means it was a large building?
Yes, it was a former rest home, but it was derelict, so we were able to transform it. And not only are they living there, but they are surrounded by a supportive program to get them back on their feet, so they will ultimately, after a year or a year and a half, transition to their own homes.
Okay, so one of I would say the most important question to ask is, how do you guys screen for these families? What is the screening process like?
Well, families apply to Habitat, and obviously need is the most important criteria. And of course, families are given priority. We also assist a number of seniors. That seems to be a growing problem here in Bermuda, of seniors who are living in derelict situations.
Okay, so these selected families, how are their privacy, how are their privacy protected?
Well, their privacy is protected. I mean, in other parts of the world, for when Habitat builds houses, and people are familiar with those houses that are being built in Africa and so forth, there's always a big sign out in front saying this is a Habitat for Humanity project. We don't do that. We're very quiet, under the radar. We quietly come in and fix somebody's house. No one even knows it was Habitat. And so, yeah, we protect their privacy because Bermuda is a very small place.
Wow.
And so we have to be very careful with that.
So how effective then would you say the organization is in Bermuda? Because there are a lot of different projects, especially religious projects. I know they have shelters, they have feeding for persons, but nobody actually have homes. Like what a Habitat does.
Yeah, well, we are an all-volunteer organization, which means we have no paid staff. So we rely heavily on the corporate volunteers and individuals, people coming from churches to volunteer. That's the only way that we could do what we do, with the money that we have. And so that's really the basic model. Of course, we also have Habitat Restore, where we take in goods that people have donated, and as you can see right here, we're in the middle of the Habitat Restore right now. And just recently we were able to give $200,000 because of this store to one of our projects.
So with every good thing, there must come to an end, right? So before we go, of course, do you have any challenging words or encouraging words, empowering words, or words that you can speak to our family, both here in Bermuda and abroad? The abroad families, when you visit Bermuda, what can they do? And the ones who are here, what can they do to keep this project going? Because indeed, it's an vital, essential, and it is actually very profound in the community and in the country of Bermuda, helping. So what can they do?
Well, we're all interconnected. When one of us is hurting, we're all hurting. And, most people are familiar with the fact that Jimmy Carter was involved in setting up Habitat in the first place. And Jimmy really he's a religious man, and he refers to Jesus Christ. And what would Jesus do? And I think if all we did was think in those terms, we would reach out to our fellow man. And fortunately, most of us do.
Okay, so you heard it from Sheila. Now, family, it's time, as promised, to focus on poverty and the geriatrics. To further expound on this topic, we will have a medical social worker from the United States who is also a case manager, and we will also have 2 RNs. They will be giving us personal testimonies with their experience with the elderly and also their experience.
Hello. On the topic poverty and the geriatrics. As a case manager and a medical social worker, globally, people are living longer, 65 years and beyond. Therefore, every country in the world will experience growth in both size and a proportion of older adults in their population. According to WHO, there is an increase in persons aged 60 years and older from 1 billion to 1.4 billion in 2020. This number is expected to double to 2.1 billion in 2050. And the number of persons aged 80 years or older is expected to triple between 2020 and 2050 to reach 426 million. At the medical level, aging could impact health, causing a decline in physical and mental capacity due to accumulating various molecular and cellular damage over the years. Hence, we have a high risk of chronic diseases and other age-related medical complications with an aging population. The diversity seen in older adults is not random. WHO believes, and I do endorse, that a large part arises from people's physical and social environments and the impact of these environments on their opportunities and health behaviors. Our relationship with our setting is skewed by personal characteristics such as the family we were born into, our sex, and our ethnicity, leading to inequalities in health. Physical and social environments can affect health directly or through barriers or incentives that affect opportunities, decision, and health behaviors. Maintaining healthy behavior throughout life, mainly you gotta eat healthy, a balanced diet, engaging in regular physical activities, and refraining from tobacco use, reducing the risk of non-communicable diseases, improving physical and mental capacity, and delaying care dependency. Some variation in older adult health are genetic. However, most could be associated with physical and social environments, such as their homes, neighborhood, and communities. Other factors to consider are their personal characteristics, sex, ethnicity, and social economic status. I strongly believe attention and relevant intervention should be placed on improving the quality of diet consumed by our vulnerable population, our older adults. Poverty could also create a personal crisis for seniors, making it challenging to participate in social activities due to a lack of financial assistance. Strong friendship could positively impact mental and physical health at this stage of life. Hence, being unable to participate would negatively affect the senior quality of life. Here in the USA, our seniors, when they were working, when they were younger, they were, part of their pay would go to certain insurance and stuff like that. So whenever they get to a certain age, now they're qualified, based off those insurance, they're qualified for housing, like cheaper housing and stuff like that. And these insurance will, pay for housing. for them, while in some countries they are not given these type of resources. Here in the US they are offered, they get Medicare. So for health care, it is pretty much free or way cheaper than it is for average people. Our seniors, they will get a lot of assistance here. The resources is just how here for them to receive. When it comes to food, they get like food stamps and stuff like that. So I do think here the resources are here compared to other countries. Geriatric is the branch of medicine or social science related to health and care of older adults. Beyond the physical and mental changes, other transitions are associated with aging, such as retirement, relocation to other appropriate housing, and poverty. Housing is a social determinant of health, and emphasis should be placed on this factor. In the USA, older adults are provided with care and insurance to address this social determinant of health adequately. Notwithstanding, very little is known about subjective poverty and food insecurity as it is related to marginalized population of older adults living in the subsidized social housing.
Yes, so I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Giselle. I'm a registered nurse, and I'm also the Director of Patient Services for one of the home care agencies here in New York. I was born and raised in the Philippines, so in terms of poverty, I'm very familiar with what it's like to grow up in a third world country. I'm very fortunate to say that, my parents were professionals back home. My father is a doctor, but when we had to migrate here, for my mother's family here for family reasons, we all had to start, from the bottom, whereas, my parents had to work, my father had to work as a technician. I myself had to, work at Walmart, I worked at McDonald's, and had to take blood for a living. And I was also a nurse's aide prior to me getting to the position that I have, actually to being a registered nurse. I'm very fortunate to say that, I grew up, knowing like what it's like to be in a third world country. I have the best of both worlds, and I also get to experience what it's like here to be in the United States, where there's plenty of opportunities to expand, to grow. And I find that several times, like your position you could be either up one day, down one day, depending on your mindset and how you take things. So for me, poverty basically could be your reality, but it could also be a state of mind. Like I said, we started, from top, like back in the Philippines, and here from the bottom. And there were times when I had to work from, I went to school from 8 to 2 in the morning, and then 3 to 11 I was working as a student, until I got my RN degree. And even after that, I still had to struggle to get to where I am. So with the United States, there's plenty of opportunities. You can take some loans and what have you, but that could also put you in a derogatory remark where you have to like borrow money and what have you. But I think that poverty could be something that could either push you to be a better person. Okay, you could use that to try to push and make the most of what you can get out of life. Because sometimes when you start off, having all this money, all this wealth, and you're born into it, it's easy to take things for granted. So poverty could, sometimes be a good thing, could be a motivational, experience. And, I am very blessed and happy to be here in a way where, with the United States, where you get plenty of opportunities, there's room to grow, and also the experiences that I had back in the Philippines, I'm very thankful for, because I get to appreciate what I have so far. I do thank you for having me.
Good afternoon, and my name is Camille. I'm originally from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. and I'm now currently residing in the United States of America. I am a registered nurse, and so I worked as a coordinator at a home care agency. And I can piggyback to what Giselle said. Pretty much poverty can push you to being stronger. It can push you into a better place. It can be good and bad. Here, if I'm to compare United States with that of America, I can see poverty do exist. It is, if I'm to compare it to that of United States, yes, there's some cases where we are a little bit less fortunate to accomplish some things. I mean, remember when I was going to school too, I mean, I didn't have everything, but then we had little scholarships, yes. But the opportunities are even more here to where you can venture out, where you can tap in, you can walk and you can tap in to do a lot of other things as well. I do see poverty exists too in the United States, despite the fact that they have all the resources. It still exists. It does exist as well as in the States. There are people who still walk and ask. They look for help in many ways, and just to piggyback with even for the mere fact, the elderly, they seem to benefit a lot in regards to the care that is being rendered for the states. They'll put you in housing, they put you up in housing, they make it more whereby you can have insurances coverage. There's a lot of other opportunities for the elderly. They take care of the elderly here for most of what I can see, as opposed to that of St. Vincent. Yes, we want to do as much, but we don't always have the resources. So we come a long way, and I would really like to see poverty, it improve, that yes, we're modern day now, we're into more technology, we are more advanced, so I definitely would love to see poverty, something done to help improve poverty amongst people here. So I just want to give God thanks, thank Him for the opportunity where I can be here and can compare the two. I can live in both places, coming from St. Vincent now in the States. It's really, and then I've already, it's a blessing. I thank God for that.
Need to be aware that there is no typical older adult. I have seen some 70 and 80-year-olds have similar physical and mental capacities to 30-year-olds. It is disheartening to learn that older adults face societal changes and challenges. They are often assumed to be frail or dependent and a burden to society. As a public health professional, I challenge the community globally to address these issues and any other ageist attitudes which could lead to discrimination. If time persists and you and I are alive, we are the next older adults. Environments we live in as children or even as developing fetuses, combined with our characteristics, will have long-term effects on how we age. Let's now change the trajectory and emancipate our minds to embrace a new aging process and lifestyle. We are doing it for technology. Let us do it towards the older adults, who will soon be us. Poverty poem, Ghana.
Mawaha infie bebre na mekoswa waha.
Emilioni erasenga nilomani yao. Ia kimamisa vese matimbola kina nonra kota.
Ndaivepo pakabatwa nombo yako, ndaivepo pawakazvarwa, kwete sachiremba, kwete sanyamukuta.
Hindi ka pinangalan ng magulang mo sa akin, hindi mo ako kamag-anak.
நான் உங்களை பின்தொடர்ந்து நான் ஒரு மாயை அல்ல உங்கள் யதார்த்தம் என்பதை உங்களுக்கு நினைவூட்டுவேன்.
Je kunt me alleen elimineren door een positieve instelling, doorzettingsvermogen en opleiding.
For the world to reduce or destroy me, my cycle must be broken, starting with you. Conclusion to Poverty, Inherited, Illusion or Reality series. The causes of poor health for millions globally are rooted in political, social, and economic injustices. Poverty and poor health worldwide are inextricably linked. Poor people living in low-income settings tend to be least healthy and benefit the most from health care. Social determinants of health, such as education, income level, gender, ethnicity, place of residence, and employment status, directly correlate to the illness rate. The WHO believes, and I concur, that the social determinants of health, SDH, are the non-medical factors that influence health outcomes. They are the conditions in which people are born, grow, work, live, age, and a broader set of forces and systems shaping the needs of daily life. These forces and systems include economic policies and procedures, development agendas, social norms, and political systems. The SDH has an essential influence on health inequities, the unfair and avoidable differences in health status seen within and between countries. In countries with all income levels, health and illness follow a social gradient. The lower the socioeconomic position, the worse the health. Social determinants of health, including poverty, also adversely impact chronic infectious diseases. Addressing SDH appropriately is fundamental for improving health and reducing long-standing inequities in health, which requires action by all sectors and civil society. In my opinion, and based on facts, poverty could be inherited depending on your geographic location and your socioeconomic status. Poverty could also be an illusion due to self-pity, game blaming, unrealistic goals, and ignorance versus arrogance. Lastly, poverty is a reality, unfortunately, for many people globally. One fundamental solution to reduce global poverty practically and economically within our borders would be a positive mindset, resources, sacrifices, perseverance, and being an exemplary individual despite the odds. A trailblazer. Seeking divine wisdom, knowledge, and understanding are my secret combinations to supersede the odds victoriously. Punches who contributed to this series on poverty, inherited, illusion, or reality through our verbal survey of 3 questions were Jamaica, Bermuda, Philippines, India, Mexico, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Fiji, USA, UK, South Korea, Amsterdam, Haiti, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Azores, Canada, France, Poland, Spain, and Ireland. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A million thanks. You made this series possible. You may be wondering, can a survey be verbal? In-person surveys are great for capturing verbal and nonverbal cues of respondents, such as their body language and emotions. This was used purposefully for those who wanted to express themselves by sharing their enthusiasm, discomfort, interest, and other cognitive and emotional responses regarding this sensitive topic: poverty, inherited, illusion, or reality. To the pastor, the multidisciplinary team members, and the humanitarians who were our guest speakers from Bermuda, India, Philippines, Mexico, Barbados, Nigeria, Jamaica, UK, Fiji, Haiti, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and USA. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You made this series possible. Family, thank you for staying with me through these 7 episodes. This series, Poverty, Inherited, Illusion or Reality, was very informative, challenging, but most importantly, empowering. We will now take what we have learned, listen to, and practice it. Remember, let us now be ambassadors of great, positive, healthy changes. Together, we soar and succeed. The time is now. Bless. Bendiga.